here we go then. It's an emotional finale of Beat the Manager. It's week 11, the final week. The scores are level at 5 each. It's Lee Allenson, of course, Hendon manager, against a mystery opponent. Lee, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, doing very well. So, how are you?
I'm all good, thank you. So, if we go back to when this all started, like seemingly months ago, you raced into the lead. Was it Tommy Brewer, Tommy Smith, Luca, I think?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
I think I lost to Corks, didn't I? I lost to Forbes. I lost to it was one other.
There were loads.
Yeah, there was a few. So it's been exciting. This, and it's ticked us over for the. You said 11 weeks. I think we missed a couple of weeks as well. So I can't actually believe how quick it's gone, to be honest with you. So it's just nice to have our last one tonight, and then we can talk football.
Absolutely. So listen, we've racked our brains to try and find a worthy opponent for you this evening. And your opponent will reveal him or herself to you, we hope, in a couple of minutes. So pre-season's kind of underway now, games are underway. Have you ever gone 6 months before without playing a game of football?
Never in my life. I was very fortunate as a player. I never really got too many injuries or suspensions. So it's been a disaster, to be honest. But we're getting there, and I'm just looking forward to being able to go out tomorrow, get the boys a good run out, get some minutes under their belts, and hopefully exciting times ahead, and we can start moving forward with the football.
The weather's really kind of. We're recording this on Friday evening, and it's baking hot. It's going to be very hot for the players. Does that change the way you, as a manager, kind of give them minutes? They give them less minutes, more players. How does it all work when the temperatures are going to be so extreme?
No, I think, again, you have to just be very careful and look after players. I said to you just before we come on air that, I've worked extremely hard this week. I expect to be carrying the players carrying a lot of stiffness going into the game tomorrow. But that's what it's about. It's going to the extreme and becoming fitter that way. So add that with the heat tomorrow. Expect a really tough game. Bracknell have been in 2 or 3 pre-season games already. Very good manager, very good side. So it'd be really good to get a good run out tomorrow and just see where we are. A couple of trialists, and we'll have 2 teams playing, and we'll have 2 teams playing for the next few weeks. And that's what it's all about. Long time till the season starts. If it starts, we've still got to prepare for the FA Cup, even if it doesn't start till the 3rd of October. So, we're just preparing the way that we need to prepare for the season.
Do you get, will the referee tomorrow be kind of giving water breaks to the players?
I believe so, yeah. I mean, as I say, me and Bobby think quite similar. So, if they want to do that, then we're happy with that. And listen, credit to Daz as well, how hard he had to work this week to get this game on, because it has been absolute crazy. Temperature checks at the game tomorrow, addresses, phone numbers, email addresses of every player, every person that's coming into the ground. So it's an awful lot of work that he's had to put this week, and I think full credit goes to him, because he's probably the hardest he's ever had to work in terms of just getting a friendly on, let alone a league game or anything else. So, massive credit to him for getting us going tomorrow. And as I say, the boys are excited, I'm excited, and as I said to him, we don't know when this might stop, so we might as well take the opportunity to go and really enjoy playing football again, and take it forward from there.
You'll be pleased to hear tonight, I've got no boxing questions.
Shame.
Yeah.
I like the boxing.
And yeah, I know you do. Do you ever go?
No, I don't. I like watching it from home. I'm really into it. It's a real big sport that I like. It's probably my favourite one. I really like it. Really study it. I think the mental toughness of it is amazing. And yeah, I watch it all the time. It's on tonight. I'll be watching it tonight. Faye don't know yet, but I'll drop that bombshell when I get downstairs.
Did you? I watched it. I'm not a big fan, but I watched a few minutes of it last. Oh. Well, what a surprise!
I got the wife in the world. She forgot. I was eating my dinner. Good job, God Almighty.
So welcome to Ian Allenson. And is that a surprise for you, Lee?
Yeah, to be fair, I thought it was going to be Faye, and then I thought it was going to be Alfie. I never ever guessed it would be him. The moodiest man in the world. I can't believe it.
And I was sitting there eating my dinner.
Well, you can't eat your dinner now, Ian. We've got to do the quiz now.
It wouldn't have been any good if my mum cooked it anyway. Don't worry about that.
It was awful, trust me. It weren't good.
So, Ian, you're very welcome. Have you watched any of these?
No, I haven't. No, I'm sorry. I'm really. I struggle to watch Lee when he's doing interviews. So it's,
I learned from the best, you see.
So there's no pressure on you, Ian, but
No.
this is the very last one. This is week 11. So we've been doing this throughout most of the summer.
yeah.
And it's week 11 and it's 5-all. So it's
really?
winner takes all. And
Oh,
your son is not the least bit competitive, apparently. And he'll absolutely hate losing.
To be
So-
fair, Steve,
ask him the last time we played tennis.
Yeah, I beat him in the end. Quite, and it took me 15 years. He used to make me beat him at, like, he used to play serious at everything. I had to earn the right to beat him. So, but honestly, the players that he's playing for tonight, he's released half of them, and none of them can stand him. So, you've got him on here.
They'll
All right,
vote for
so-
me though.
Ian, the rules are very simple. We've got 3 questions each. We always start with Lee.
Yeah.
If we're level after the end of 3 questions, we go
Yeah.
to a winner takes all. Shout the answer out. First one to get it right is the winner. All right.
Okay.
And as we go through it, we'll have a little bit of a chat as well. So, Ian, are you ready?
Yep.
Lee, are you ready?
Yep.
One thing's for sure, and Allinson's going to win tonight. All right, here we go. Winner takes all. So, Lee, question 1. Within 5, do you know much about your dad?
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Okay. Within 5, how many appearances did your dad make during his league playing career, and how many goals did he score?
Oh, my God.
You've just told me. You've just
Yeah,
told me that you know a lot about him.
Oh, dear, oh, dear,
So within
oh, dear.
5.
Within 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's madness.
And that's league games, remember?
Yeah. League play. But it's like his pro league playing career.
And friendlies.
No, don't be harsh on him.
And five-a-sides.
I'm going to go just a guess. I know what you played for Arsenal.
That's all the other ones.
I'm going to go with 390 games.
Right, and how many goals?
65 goals.
Nowhere near that whatsoever.
Ian, do you want to? Have you got any idea?
I would say something like 470 and 98 goals.
That's unbelievable.
Is that something like or spot on like, do you reckon?
Not far wrong.
No,
Yeah.
spot on like. Well done.
Well, so, yeah, he has. He's got it bang on.
Yeah, he has.
Unbelievable.
So, but you did say, Lee, that you knew a lot about your dad's
I
playing
did,
career.
but
You've
obviously
fallen.
not that much.
Well, clearly not.
Indeed,
Right.
that
Right, while we're doing that, I'm just going to shut the curtains here because the sun's decided to come out.
comes to your hair,
There we
Steve.
go. That's better. Right. Ian, your first question. Who did Lee make his senior non-league debut for, and how old was he?
I think he was 15 and he came on for me at Boreham Wood down in Clevedon.
Wrong question.
I think you've got it wrong.
Yes!
His non-league debut in terms of
Yes.
league or cup.
Yeah,
Harlow Town.
you got his age right.
Harlow Town, was it?
Yes!
Clevedon.
No,
That's right.
Lee, what do you reckon?
Yeah, well, he's wrong. It was for Harlow Town against
Harlow
Cleveland
Town.
in the FA Trophy. 15.
It was at Clevedon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I got half a point. I got half
No,
a point.
I'm not doing
and he
halves.
was 15.
Well,
I got 2/3.
I can't believe he's got that wrong. It's unbelievable.
I'll think about it. The thing is, we need to get to a tie break, so we need to work it. You know, if we have to give you a half later, we will, so we can somehow get to a tie break.
It was Harlow. Was it? I thought it was
Yeah, Harlow.
It was Harlow.
You should have scored. Remember
I
that
should have,
chance you missed?
Yeah. I was nervous.
Lifted your head, didn't you?
Okay. So Ian, let's talk a bit about you, because we've honestly we've spoken to Lee till the cows come home over the last several months. Talk us through your league career. A lot of it was at Colchester, wasn't it? That was your kind of starting point.
Yeah, I signed from 16. I was when I joined them. Made my debut the following year against Preston at 17. I was in the team really on a regular basis from 18, and played before I left nearly 300 games for them, and then left after about 10 years. I had 2 really good years, seasons sort of 8 and 9, and that's the first time they played me as a centre forward, and I scored 52 goals in 2 years, which led teams like Chelsea, West Ham, Fulham, and eventually Arsenal to come in. I'd agreed to sign for Fulham. The contract was all signed, done. I took it home for the weekend, and on that Sunday, Terry Neal rang me and said, would I like to sign for Arsenal? And being as my boyhood club is, there was only one answer really. I went straight in, 10 o'clock in the morning, went straight into Arsenal, met Ken Fryer and Terry Neal, signed for Arsenal, and then I had to, well, I didn't do it. I got Arsenal to ring up Malcolm McDonald and tell him that I wasn't signing. So, as I say, it was one of them. I had 4 fantastic years. As I said, it was a club that I'd been for many, many years, supported them for years. The whole family, apart from Lee, supports them. That's why we don't like Lee. And it's and then went on from when I left there, I went to Stoke, which it was probably the wrong move for me at the wrong time. Went back to Luton and had a good 18 months at Luton, enjoyed it, and ended up with a couple of years or another sort of a year, 18 months at Colchester, and then decided at 32, which was quite young, I was still quite fit. I just felt leaving Arsenal really was, I just fell out of love with football a little bit. Once you leave somewhere like that, it's very difficult to say where you need to get to. And that's when I decided to get into management. And since 19...
We'll talk about management in just a minute, because that's Lee's next question. So we're going to hold you there, Ian. So question 2, Lee, not including returning visits, name 6 of the clubs your dad has managed.
Baldock Town,
yeah.
Stotfold,
Yeah.
Barton Rovers,
Yeah.
Harlow Town,
Yeah.
Boreham Wood,
Yeah.
St Albans.
Very good. There is one more that I know of. Any thoughts?
Shall
I tell you it?
Hold on. Corby Town.
Yeah.
Is that the one? Good. He was only manager for 8 hours. That's a true story. It's a true story. I'll tell you the story.
No idea. What happened there?
I got a phone call one day from Steve Evans, who's now the Gillingham manager, and we'd had quite a few games together. I was manager of Stotfold, he was manager of Holbeach and Stamford, and no matter what happened, we always ended up in a fight virtually at the end of the game between all sets of players, the managers, and everything. And out the blue one day, he gave me a call to say that he'd taken over as chairman of Corby. He would like me to go in as his manager. I met him at the Novotel in Stevenage, agreed a deal. I agreed to go up in the evening, went up in the evening, had a photo done, met the other directors, left there about 10:30, got home about 12:15, didn't sleep, and at 7:30 I rang him in the morning to say that I couldn't take the job. And it was just too far, and I just didn't think that Steve and myself's styles would have clashed. And I would have given myself probably 7 days, and I think we probably would have parted company. So it was best to do it that way, and I continued just at managing at Stotfold.
Okay, excellent. Well, question 2. So, Lee, you're kind of winning 1-0 or 1-1.5.
I've got 2/3 for the first one. That's got it.
So, Ian, question 2 for you. Who did Colchester famously beat in the 5th round of the FA Cup in season 70-71?
Leeds United.
They did. And you know what the score was?
3-2.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very good. Very good. Tell us about your son. Personality traits. Anything. Tell us a funny story about Lee. Any story about Lee?
I think it's difficult to say, because I'm extremely proud of what he's done as a player and as a manager. And I always felt in his early days as at Watford that I think as an 8, 9, 10-year-old, he was scoring 70, 80 goals a season. And I think football bypassed him a little bit there. So when he first came into Harlow and Stotfold, we moved him back into a slightly less centre forward role, into more of a midfield role. And he grew in that and done extremely well. Always scored goals from midfield. I always said it, and I'll say it again, I think technically, I think he had more ability to me. The one thing with me is probably just the hunger and the desire as a player. because I certainly think he's got hunger and desire as a manager. But he'll tell you this, I questioned his hunger and desire for many years, from sort of 17, 18. And then he started to grasp it, and he did very, very well as a non-league footballer. But as a manager, as we've said, I think he's grasped it from that side of it. Funny stories with Lee, probably too many to mention, probably.
I'll keep you on his toes, Steve, put it that way. Not no more, but I used to.
All right.
I just think there's just some of the stuff that the lads used to get up to was crazy. I mean, just things like cutting people's socks up and doing things like that in the changing rooms and sharing people's clothes around and things like that. But it was all part of building a relationship and a changing room, which was, for me, is all part of what football's all about.
Excellent. So, Lee, it's I think we're 1-1 now. I'm losing track of all this. It's your third and final question.
Steve, okay. Can I just stop you there, because my wife's just come in and told me the funniest story ever.
Go on.
When Lee got expelled from school because he locked the geography teacher in the cupboard and threw the kid out the window.
That is a true story, and all.
And he sees him now when he's doing his work with Stevenage, so he still sees him now.
How old was he then? Was he about 18 when he locked the teacher in the cupboard?
About 15. Oh dear.
He was uncontrollable, Steve, as a kid.
Dear. That's
we got stopped. When we went to away games, he had to come. So even if there was one extra in the car, he had to hide on the floor in the car going to away games. It was a nightmare. I couldn't leave him at home. He wouldn't stay at home. Just, everywhere we went as a kid, he came with us.
Brilliant. All right, Lee. I hope you know a bit more about your dad, really, than you've shown so far. So, question 3. Who did your dad make his Arsenal debut against, and why was the game so significant?
I haven't got a clue.
I'll tell you.
You haven't got a clue?
Haven't got a clue.
That's unbelievable.
It's a funny one. He really doesn't talk about his career at all, ever. He's never sat me down. He shows some videos. Just
sound like you're a goldfish. Can you keep still?
Yeah, he's never really showed me videos. So, oh dear.
Do you want me to tell you?
Any clues?
Yeah, no. What happens at this point, Ian, is that we generally pause for between 10 and 15 minutes, and we help your son by dropping in about 300 clues to help him get to the right answer.
We can get to a tie break at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's milk cup. It was
Milk
yeah.
cup.
Yep.
And it was against a team in the Midlands.
And it was in November.
Yeah, and the team's name began with a W.
Not Wickham, because they're not in the Midlands.
No, not.
West Bromwich Albion.
Oh my God!
No, we didn't hear that. Try again, Lee. Try again.
What kit do they wear?
Red.
Walsall.
Well, amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, again, he gets the right answer without any help at all. That's fantastic. Have you got the trophy, by the way? Where's the trophy tonight? This is what we're playing for, Ian.
Oh, well, that looks. I haven't won one for a couple of weeks, so I need to get one.
And yes, so he lost. Yeah, they lost to Walsall.
I just got this text from Faye to say Walsall. No cheating going on, no.
And why was it significant, right. Lee? Why was it significant?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
The manager got the sack afterwards.
That's sad, isn't it? Because he signed you, apparently.
That was my debut. That was. Yeah.
Right. Question 3 for Ian. It's a 2-part question. Okay.
Yeah.
Part A. When did Lee last have a haircut?
I know the answer.
No, it's all right. It's a joke.
I actually know the answer. Do you want me to give you the answer? I'll give you the answer.
Go on, when was it?
So it was the day of when we played Hampton and Richmond away on a Tuesday night, and it was October the 23rd.
Which decade?
And then I went to New York 2018, and I went to New York on the Saturday straight after the Dartford game for St Albans.
So you've not had a haircut for nearly, is that 3 years nearly?
I have a little trim every now and then, obviously, like a little blow dry and a trim, but not a proper haircut.
Wow.
Looks
Yeah.
awful. It looks awful.
Ian, here's your proper question. This is to, I've no idea what the score is, but this will get us to a tie break if you get this one right. Which famous football manager once said, "I wouldn't say I was the best manager in the business, but I was in the top one"?
I would probably say that's got to be Brian Clough, I would say. If not Brian Clough.
What? Just say no more.
That's it.
You're a genius. Complete genius, which remarkably, with no cheating at all from anybody,
Unbelievable.
in week 11, the very final week of
right.
Beat the Manager, it all now rides on a tie-break question.
Let's do this.
So what we do here, Ian, just shout out whatever you think the answer is as quick as you can.
Yeah.
All right? Lee, obviously, Lee tried it last week and he was about 3 hours behind the Hendon chairman, so he didn't win. But are you ready? Lee, you ready?
Ready when you are.
Ian, you ready?
Yeah.
How many appearances did Hendon legend Dave Deju make for the club before signing for St Albans?
249.
250.
Unbelievably, with a score, it was 380. So by one, Lee has won. Incredible.
He come up with 249.
Why can't it be?
Confident as well.
Ah, well.
Oh, well.
There you
So
go.
after all this,
Well, I
Lee,
did
after
get
all
two-
these weeks,
Yeah, I'm disappointed because I got Clevedon right, I got 15 right, and I got the wrong team.
well done, Lee. Are you very proud?
Very happy. It's a great win for me. It's a great win.
And Ian, how's things? Commiserations. How things looking at St Albans and pre-season for you? It's a bit of a strange one, isn't it? Because I think you start after we're supposed to start, and then what do you do for pre-season and stuff in the 2 weeks before you start when everybody else has already started? How does that work?
I think you're dead right there, Steve. It's been listen, we're in the middle of this pandemic. We know that, and we have to respect what's gone on with it. But it has been difficult because we expected the season to start on the 12th, same as yourselves. We planned, this will be the third session tomorrow, so we've planned all of the sessions. We planned some games that would end on the 5th with yourself in a friendly, and then that would give us two nights to go and prepare for the first league game of the season. Like what you said, we've now been put back to the 3rd. So when that was announced, when you look at all the fixtures against teams, there was no teams apart from conference sides left to play. So I was lucky that I spent probably a day and a half ringing up half the conference sides, speaking to the managers, speaking to the secretaries, and we've managed to end up now with Wealdstone, Sutton and Kings Lynn, which gives us a fantastic running going into the 3rd of October, which is now the FA Cup. So you'll know how important the FA Cup is for any team. So we can't go into that game unprepared, because that's important in terms of, one, financially, and two, it takes you on your road to try and get into the first round proper. But then we've been told again yesterday is that the 3rd round, if we get through, is going to be the 13th of October, which is a Tuesday night. So within the first 10 days of coming back into it, we're going to have 2 league games and maybe 2 FA Cup games. So it's going to be strange, but at least we're trying to get there. We do need to get supporters back into the grounds. It looks like it's going to be for us a really long pre-season, so we've got to be careful that we do it correctly, and we make sure that players have the correct rest in between the hard work that they're going to do over the next 8 weeks. So looking forward to it. I think the squad looks good. Again, we've gone for some players in the lower leagues and tried to bring them through and try and develop them. But at the moment, in the 3 sessions we've had, they all look good. They look hungry, and some of the testings we've done with them, they look really good, and the fitness levels has been good as well. So I'm pleased with all of that.
And how much do the two of you kind of chat about football? Do you give Lee advice about what he should do, how he should do it? How does it work?
I think it works both ways. I mean, we probably speak half a dozen times a day. It's crazy a relationship we've got in terms of that, but we're always on the phone to each other, always asking different things, different advice. And, even yesterday, You know, I think we were speaking about one or two of the whether your season is going to start a little bit later in terms of the league, because I know there's some rumours going around that the Football Association might want all the leagues to start on the 3rd of October, but the FA Cups will be taking place. So again, it's about having your team right for the FA Cup, but maybe your league won't start for another 2 weeks after that. So it's going to be difficult for everybody. I think there was one of the, you know, some of the teams are asked if they don't even want to go in the FA Cup. So, you know, it's going to be a difficult season, I think, for everybody. And, you know, looking at how it's going to pan out for the end of May is when the season's going to end. We've been told that for the first 3 weeks of June is going to be the playoffs, and then the season's going to look to start again in August. So it's going to be a tough period for everybody over the next 18 months, and it's how people develop and work within that system where they'll have the results.
And Lee, what if you can pinpoint maybe one or two things that you've learned from your dad that you now use in your own managerial career?
I think the biggest one for me is not to panic. When we went in at St Albans, he was, well, I mean, they were doomed, they were gone, and I think they had 14 or 16 points, and we needed to win 8 of our last 12 and draw 2. And we've done it, and the main thing he just kept saying was not to panic, don't panic, and that took me a long way. And you know, with that, you just shows you can go on any kind of run. And he kept saying it to me this year. I remember after the Harrow game, how defeated I was at times, because it was like, brought in the new. It's like, you haven't had a pre-season with them, don't panic. And next thing, you go on 6 games without losing and win all 6. So massive part of it is a born winner. I take it after him. Anyone will tell you we're very, very similar. And the reason why I'm probably hungrier as a manager than I was a player is I don't have to run around. So, you know, it's just one of them things. I've taken a lot from him. I've taken some other bits from other managers, you know, and but the majority of it is from Dad. As I say, he'll tell you I'd had no interest in going to training at 14, 15 years of age. I wanted to go and watch him. I wanted to go and watch his teams, and I'd sit in changing rooms from a young kid, literally 7, 8, listening to team talks. That's all I was interested in. You know, and when I had to go training, I'd do everything I could to get out of it to go and watch it. So it just is what it is. I've been brought up like it, and I'm very, very lucky to be in a job now. And Dad's lucky as well himself, because, as you know, there's a lot of good managers out there not working. But what we do is we work really hard, and we try and be successful as we can. And you know, the problem is, as we've just spoke about earlier, some of the signings. You know, Darryl Grubb just signed for Western-super-Mare on a 4.5-year contract. You know, tough to compete with. They're trying to compete St Albans with Havant and Waterlooville and teams like that. It's very difficult. But if you get a good change room, you get good players, you'll have a chance, and that's what we're both aiming for this year. All
right. Well, Ian, thank you very much for being our mystery surprise guest. Did you have any idea, Lee? Did you think you might be?
No. I had a guy at Luca earlier, because he come down and he said, all set for the interview. I said, what interview? What are you talking about? And he walked out, and then I looked at her. I said, "What is it, Alfie on there or what?" And she put the phone over her face. I'm thinking, it's got to be Alfie. Or then you mentioned her, and I thought, I'm waiting for Faye. I can't see Faye doing it. And yeah, then obviously I no clue whatsoever. It was a good surprise.
Brilliant, Ian. Thank you for joining us. Have a great season, Lee. Enjoy Bracknell in pre-season. Well done on after all these weeks, triumphing 6-5. To be the Beat the Manager champion for this year. Be safe, guys. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.